Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video will be a more testing about Jiu's passive and his S2 passive and the S3 passive here. So I saw Reddit, I saw comment, I saw people discussing about their theory crafting about how meta Jiu is going to synergize, right? So with the Esper currently we have, I'm gonna test them to let you know do they synergize with Jiu or not. Okay, so for Jiu, first thing I want to correct is, so my previous video I mentioned the S2 Jiu here have to be ally revive, doesn't count as a Jiu, right? Which is actually a false information, because after that I tested again, which I found out I'm actually wrong. So let me go through this part here, right? So if your ally die, so for example Bidao here died, and I trigger revive on Bidao, then it will have a special animation, which is a circle effect. So for example, now I'm going to do some damage and my Abigail take action. Then there will be a special animation. Okay, not this one. Okay, then there will be a special animation like a circle thing, which means you increase your damage. So let's take a look here. Abigail S3 on Bidao, revive Bidao. There's a special animation and you can see there's a damage up bottom the attribute buff, because we get attack up, crit damage up is from Abigail, and there's a damage up trigger which is from Jiu. So which means when you trigger the Eternal Passage, that's going to have a circle effect, then it will increase all your ally damage by 10%. And this effect actually also applies to Jiu's himself. So for example, if you make Jiu level 1, if you are able to do that, or you make him like totally gearless without any gear, and you just let Jiu die, he can actually be something like Toland, just to gimmick the thing, right? So for example, if I do it like this, and if my meta Jiu die, okay, give me a second. Okay, so now meta Jiu die is in the counter now, but even with that, I can use Abigail to instantly revive meta Jiu. It will trigger the revive effect, the circle thing, and increase our damage up. So which means this revive here, it doesn't only count your ally Esper. This ally Esper here is also considered Jiu himself. If you don't use the revive Esper on Jiu, you can also use the method which is the Jiu self revive. Because Jiu passive here, he have his own self revive, which is after your Esper take a total of 8 active turn, then Jiu will revive for himself, and that revive also counts. So let me show you an example. Okay, so now Jiu died already, so we need a total of 8 active turn. The counter attack here doesn't count, so here is 1 turn, 1 active turn, 2, 3, the counter attack doesn't count, 4, 5, 6, 7, then here will be my 8 action, then Jiu will revive. So 8 action, active action, then Jiu will revive. Okay, then you can see it also have the special effect, and everyone trigger the damage up effect, which means Jiu revive by himself will also give you the damage bonus. The damage bonus for all your ally Esper. So if you really want to use this method without any revive Esper in your team, then you might actually want Jiu to be level 1, or maybe easy to die, like not building him high HP for PvE content. Then he can abuse this effect every 8 active turn, then he'll revive and increase all your damage, your ally damage by 10%. So this is the part for it. And then there's more. The other thing is about Mavis. So I saw also people discussing about the Mavis thing. So you have to know that Mavis doesn't count as a revive, because Mavis passive, if you actually take a lesser damage your teammate, you prevent them from dying, which means you didn't die, but you go into a state called graveless. You cannot take any action, be selected, or take damage. So Mavis Esper, it turns your death into graveless, so you won't actually die. So you didn't die at all. And after that, Mavis, when Mavis casts S3, then you remove the graveless state and go into soul paradise. So this is only the Mavis mechanic. Is before you die, then Mavis will turn you into graveless mode. After that, Mavis can use S3 to revive in a way into the soul paradise. So it's not really revive mechanic, but this little damage here will still help you trigger Jiu's passive. So Jiu passive is whenever your ally take fatal damage, you instantly get the max stack of burden of Duat, and meta Jiu takes an extra turn. This will get triggered. But in terms of the S2, the damage passive here, it won't trigger because you are not considered as reviving. You are just changing from graveless state into a what's that called? Soul Paradise state. So you are not revived. So let me show you the example here. Okay, so now if I go into the battle and if Bidao actually die, okay, so now Bidao die, right? You instantly get max stack of the Burden of Duat because Jiu passive here, whenever your ally take fatal damage, they'll receive the max number of Burden of Duat, so which he already trigger. And now you can notice that Jiu actually get a bonus turn because now it's fatal damage, so it get the max number of Burden of Duat, and then Meta Jiu get an extra turn. It did trigger the S3 effect. Okay, so now Jiu just randomly do some damage here. So let's say I'm gonna hit on you, and then it will transfer attribute buff to Bidao even Bidao is in a graveless state. So now S1, you can see attribute down and attribute up here. So if we put in a slow-mo, S1, then absorb to the one who is still in graveless. So if graveless mode, you are still able to abuse this kind of method to slowly stack up the attribute up combined with Mavis. But if I use Mavis S3 to kind of revive them, which you are not actually a revive because the keyword here is you change graveless into Soul Paradise. So if I S3, Bidao transform back, and it will not trigger the Jiu's effect, because if you manage to trigger the Jiu's effect, Jiu will have the circle thing effect trigger up and the damage up information tab here, but it did not trigger it because Mavis is not a revive Esper. Mavis is like preventing them to die. So if they didn't die, you can't revive. So this is the first thing. So you need the Esper who have revive keyword. So for example, Toland is a very good example of the revive keyword. Okay, so let's say I'm going to put this, I'm going to put a Moriyama here, so I can instantly kill the target who killed Toland to trigger Toland. So Toland here, final passage. So after he dies, right, then you apply this final passage to the killer. And then after this effect expired, if Toland is still in Fallen, then it'll revive him. So you can see here I have a revive keyword, and this revive keyword here will help you trigger the Jiu's S2 effect. Okay, so now let's take a look. They need to kill Toland. Okay, they didn't do it, so just let me fast forward this part. Okay, now Toland died, and this target here have the Fallen passage. So I'm gonna use Moriyama to instantly kill this guy. Oops, okay, let me restart. Okay, now Toland died. Okay, come on, I'm gonna hit you. Okay, now Toland died, it managed to apply the final passage on this target here. So now I'm going to use Moriyama to kill him and instantly let this effect go off. Okay, apply Seer. I'm going to S3 and then he will die, then Toland will revive and it will trigger the Jiu's S2 damage up. Okay, so now I S3, can kill him, and you can see the revive effect trigger and they have the damage up buff keyword. So you need the Esper who have a revive keyword to actually trigger the effect. Okay, so this is the Toland interaction. Then the other one is like Zihe. So let's take Zihe for example. So Zihe here, if Zihe died, so if Zihe die, when she go until lethal damage, which is fatal damage, then it will dispel all her debuff, recover HP to 100%, and cast a pursuit damage. So Zihe didn't actually die because Zihe will trigger her effect to prevent herself to die. So you can see Zihe here already triggered the S2 to revive herself and to recover her own max HP, and she instantly triggered the Burden of Duat. So Zihe will get 40% of crit damage buff, 40% accuracy, and 40% resist instantly. And Meta Jiu here also instantly got the bonus turn because of the S3 effect. But you do notice that it did not trigger the circle effect because there is no revive trigger from Zihe, because Zihe here is considered as prevent herself from dying and recover HP. So this kind of effect will not help you combo with Jiu. So let's take a look here. If we take a look at Jiang Jiu Li's skill kit as well, the demon mode. So Jiang Jiu Li's demon mode is upon taking lethal damage, Jiang Jiu Li does not die and go into demon mode. So it's going to be the same thing. So Jiang Jiu Li will prevent himself to die and go into demon mode. So it will trigger Jiu's S3 effect, but it will not trigger Dru's S2 effect to increase everyone's damage output. So let's give it a try. Okay, we need them to damage Jiang Jiu Li. Okay, Jiang Jiu Li trigger. Jiang Jiu Li instantly get 5 stack of what's the name? Burden of Dwat, and Dru instantly trigger the bonus turn. So it did not have the bonus effect. So you need the keyword that have revive. This effects applies to Anna as well, applies to the other Esper. As long as they don't mention they get revive, then it won't trigger the effect. So if we go to the special tab here, we go search for revive, there's only a few Esper that can trigger in game currently. Let's not talk about Meta Drew from his self revive. Then it will be Cecilia, Abigail, Phantom Sister, Mavis doesn't count, Taver doesn't count. Liam here counts because Liam S1, it will trigger once per turn is a revive when he kills a target. Where is it? Here. When Liams defeat an enemy, revive one random ally. This will be effect, but it won't affect in PvE because you can't really defend an enemy. Esper like Loyan here will trigger because this Dead Tome here, it revive instantly when the target who have Dead Tome dies, right? If Loyan have Dead Tome. And Esper like Yujing one works, the Warm Welcome, because Warm Welcome is revive your target instantly with 50% max HP. And then Nico's work as well. The Nico Soul Guard here, not Soul Guard. Is it Soul Guard? Yeah, this one. It revive the carrier from it. So Soul Guard also works. So these are the few Esper who have the revive kit to actually make the Esper work. Or for example, Lauren here. Lauren have a revive as well. Revive for on target. So you have the keyword revive, then it will trigger. If the keyword doesn't have revive, it's kind of like prevent themselves from dying, then it won't trigger at all. So this will be some something tested. So we're gonna see more about Meta Drew because there's a lot of things about Meta Drew. Like, there's a lot of things happening in Meta Drew, so we need a lot of testing on Meta Drew. But for now, it seems like it's actually better because of the passive. It will also trigger when his own revive. So maybe we need to make our Meta Drew at R0, and this will also make Meta Drew's R4 a lot more better. Because R4 here, to make Meta Drew self-revive, instead of 8 active turn, you reduce to 5 active turn, which means you're going to revive faster and you're going to trigger the damage buff a lot more faster as well. Okay, so these are some of the small tests I did on Meta Drew. I'll be making more tests on him as well. Or if you have any idea you want me to test, you can also feel free to comment down and I will go try it out. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JNMP, Epic Bullet Boy, Sky Elk, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwatts, Rimu, Chani, Antonio Winterspoon, Immune Kragan, Calamity, Rocco Senzions, Jordan Alons, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wardeners, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Chani. Thank you so much for your support.